Stop! Shut your mouth, my father had growled, his breath reeking of gin, as it had since he'd squandered the last shilling of his £10,000 inheritance. Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you. But then I was on him, biting and hissing and clawing, anything to have dragged him away from my mother. The mess of her blood and broken teeth had been the last thing I saw before he raised his fist again. Then my world exploded. When I'd come to, everything had changed. With one eye swollen shut, and my ears still ringing with my mother's urging to go, I'd run out of the house as fast as my feet would carry me, as if ravens had nipped at my heels and torn at the very threads of my soul. I ran, as if I could escape this hell. I told myself I was running toward a better life. The howling winds brought me back to the present. The mild winter temperatures had plummeted, and my fingers cracked and bled, the victims of my incessant picking at them as I worried over what to do next. It was a rare stroke of luck that Reverend Clare made a habit of leaving the Hoxton church door unlocked. Otherwise, I'd already be frozen stiff. The recent horrors I'd experienced were still circling my ravaged mind when the Reverend's wife found me curled in one of the front pews on that second morning. Jesus, Mary and Joseph! She clutched one hand over her heart as she peered down at me. The candle in her hand lit her up like a kindly seraphim, one with dimples and greying hair at her temples. Who have we here? No one so exalted, I'm afraid. Just plain Mary Wollstonecraft. My mouth felt as if it had been packed with wool as I rubbed my eyes, then winced at the throbbing pain rooted somewhere deep within my left eye socket. It is you, Mary. Mrs. Clare frowned as she touched her candle to those on the simple wooden altar. What in heaven's name are you doing here at this hour? Praying? It wasn't truly a lie. Over the past 2 days, I'd prayed for many things. A cure for my father, a new life for my mother, and a way to make everything better. Essentially, I'd prayed to rewrite the entire history of my 15-year-old life, or to find a new one. Well, we could all use a little more prayer in our lives. Mrs. Clare held up the altar candelabra and offered her customary warm smile. Then she gasped. It took a moment to remember that I must look an absolute fright. I tripped, I mumbled, feeling my body cave in on itself. Chin down, shoulders forward, arms clasped around my middle, as if I might truly disappear. Mrs. Clare hesitated, but I could tell her mind was churning from how her gleaming eyes darted to and from my face like curious little minnows. We'd lived in Hoxton only a few months. This decaying village north of London claimed 3 crumbling insane asylums that rang at all hours with the screams of the unfortunate inmates locked within. But kindly Mrs. Clare slipped me a new book to read every Sunday. Voltaire, Diderot, Rousseau. I wanted her to like me, but today I desperately needed her not to send me back to my father's house. A nasty fool, to be sure, she said, as if mulling over each word. Does your mother know you're here? I shook my head, ever so slowly. Well, you'll catch your death of a cold, she announced. Follow me. I merely stared until she turned at the entrance, arms akimbo as she cleared her throat. Do you usually dawdle? With downcast eyes, I hustled after Mrs. Clare and breathed a sigh of relief when she opened the door to the rectory instead of leading me down the weed-choked lane to my father's house. Miss Wollstonecraft is joining us for lunch.